All right, so we are selfie sticking it today, guys. Hope you can hear me. We are out on a walk and an adventure. We're actually going live every day for minutes. Um, this is going to get tiring, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to be going live for 30 minutes at roughly 11 a.m. We're going to got to get our walk in. This is part of our recovery process from my copious list of symptoms and injuries. We'll go back through the injury list again here. So I suffer from chronic hypoxia, chronic diastolic heart failure, even though it's mild, asthma, COPD, um, five hernias, um, just a long list of bad things, high blood pressure, um, I've got bad valves in my heart, all sorts of stuff. And trying to get back in fighting shape. I posted a video earlier today that shows what I looked like right before my work-related injury. Um, most of the things I'm dealing with right now are a symptom of that work-related injury. I don't know if you've ever been injured and if you break your leg, you put on some weight or something like that because you can't work out, can't get back in shape. Well, for me, I was actually in the shape of, according to my doctor's words, a 26-year-old athlete just a few months before my work-related injury. And then after my injury, I was diagnosed with just a whole ton of stuff, all sorts of pulmonary issues and heart issues and stuff from inhalation. So, yeah, that's where we're going. Oh, yeah, we're going to the track today. So, it's been about 5 years since Week of Hell and the House from Hell. We finally got diagnosed a few months ago, even though it's been going on the whole time since within a few weeks after my injury. So they told me, hey, we can't diagnose you with these things, and we can't even test for them because it hasn't been okayed by L&I. So the original injury, because it wasn't work, and there was an L&I claim, and they diagnosed me with depression related to my injury, and then kept me off work for 3 years. Even though I was complaining about having oxygen drops, I had the oxygen drops at the occupational doctor's office. They literally would refuse to take my oxygen. Said that because it wasn't needed because it was depression, so they didn't have to take my oxygen. So then I'd get them to take my oxygen when they would take it, and convince them to take it, because I would be like, well, I'm in the doctor's office. Isn't that part of the normal workup? You go into the doctor's office, they take your blood pressure, they take your oxygen, make sure you're okay. Well, they flat out refused to do it. And when I would have low oxygen, they would wait there until the oxygen came back up, and then they would list it as the number. So if they would take my oxygen, I'd be at like an 82% oxygen. They would wait until I would get back up over 90, and then they would write that down. I actually have video of this happening. It's a disgusting thing. The system seems to be pretty damn broken. And we're fighting the system still. They told me 2 years ago that I was good to go back to work, even though I was still having the oxygen drops that they refused to acknowledge, even though I showed them videos that I was having these oxygen drops. But because it's chronic and it's not a continuous thing, it's something that happens randomly. Like right now, I could be fine at like 92, and that's pretty good for me these days, 92%. And 5 minutes, I could have a drop for 20 minutes. And then after that 20 minutes, I could be fine for 15 minutes and have a drop for 30 seconds and then be fine for an hour. So that's kind of what I'm living through right now with my chronic hypertension. It sucks horribly bad. You usually precedes with dizziness, lightheadedness, kind of like when you stand up too fast. I've gotten used to having these oxygen dips, the dizzy spells. For a long time, it was confusing. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I mean, just imagine you're as healthy as can be, and then all of a sudden you're just dizzy randomly throughout the day 20, 30 times for random durations of time. Nothing is like set in stone. It's never like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's just random. And you spent the last 22 years of your life at the gym, working out, eating healthy, in shape, being a very prideful, in shape. You're dealing with that, and all of a sudden, everything changes. If you've been anything like that, you can probably relate. I mean, if you've been, fine one day, and then all of a sudden a health issue hits, and boom, your whole life has changed, and you can probably relate. So that's kind of what I've been dealing with, and it completely sucks. It's not fun. My arm's getting tired here. This thing is out there like 4 feet. So if you can't hear me, it's about 4 feet away. Anyways, we're over at the local high school, walking around the track, getting our daily walk in. So since I got diagnosed with the chronic hypoxia, we decided, you know what, I'm tired of this. I'm tired. I've been spending all my time thinking I'm going to go back to work and I'm going to rebuild my life and do this stuff. But every time I go out and do it, it's just a total shit show. Excuse my language, it's a shit show. I went for a job interview and I got so anxious that I actually urinated myself. And that's really embarrassing. I started shaking and it was terrible. So let's just say I went for the one interview and that was it. So I decided, well, maybe I can go back to work for myself. And this is after Ellen and I said, no, you're good to go back to work. And I got my business license back in the state of Oregon. And let's just say when you have chronic hypoxia, driving to work and falling asleep, which is what was happening, or being on the job and having my oxygen tank and I get dizzy and almost cut my finger off or put nails through my hands. Essentially, it was causing me to get injured over and over and over and over and over again. I actually almost lost my finger, that one right there, because I had one of my episodes when I was swinging a sledgehammer and literally took off the whole end of my finger. They did some in-house plastic surgery, managed to put it back on, but that was kind of cool. They were able to put it back on, but that took about a year and a half before it healed. And it's still not totally healed, right? But it's pretty dang good considering they were going to take it. So anyways, look, we're trying to get back in shape here. That's the name of the game right now. I'm going to be doing this every day at 11 a.m. That's the goal, is to go live at 11 a.m. Answer any questions. So if anybody's, have a chat with you guys. Hey, everybody that's in the chat, I appreciate you tuning in. I'll take a break every couple minutes and answer questions or say hi. But if you're watching, cool. We are fighting to get our health back. And I know my slow pace doesn't seem exciting, but this is kind of the best I got right now. We got a treadmill at the house. That's new. We have been using that. Don't mind the big old belly. We're trying to lose that thing. We've been doing sit-ups for the last week. We've been doing curls, getting our arms, upper body, and our core to some degree back in shape. It's kind of weird. An example, I used to curl about 225 pounds. That was my reps. I would do 4 sets of 8, and now I struggle to do 70 pounds. Unfortunately, my oxygen tanks when I'm doing it, so I've got to wear the O2. And that's kind of with everything in life these days. So if you're going through anything in your life and you're fighting your way back, or trying to fight your way back, you're not alone. All right, I'm right there with you, and I'm not giving up. You know, it seems like that's what these crooked bastards wanted me to do, was give up. Sounds like they wanted me to just throw in the towel, curl up and die somewhere so that they wouldn't have to deal with me. And I'm talking about labor industry. You know, I'm I'm not giving up. There's no way I know how. You know, I've got a beautiful wife. I've got a great life. Even if I am suffering from all these issues and whatnot, my life is, it's pretty decent. You know, I wouldn't say it's the greatest thing in the world, but I did get lucky and end up with a super supportive, awesome wife who's taking care of things right now while we're fighting O&I. And the only thing she wants me to do is put in the massive effort or maximum effort I can um, every day, and that's what I do. You know, in return, you know, if you guys know what it's like being injured and you've got a significant other, you know, you still got to pull your weight. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't just throw in the towel and give up, right? So I started taking on more of the house duties, things that my wife would usually take care of. You know, I cook dinner at night for us. I clean the house the best I can. I'm not real good at that stuff. Not great at cleaning the house. I take care of the yard. I'm not great taking care of the yard. You know, I get winded and, you know, I'm out of oxygen, and sometimes I can only put in like 15 minutes or 10 minutes. That's what it's like living with chronic hypoxia. You know, it's any second right now I could have an oxygen drop, just get all dizzy and be down for 20 to 30 minutes. Um, you know, one of the big things that happens with this is depression. It's a real freaking thing. You know, I used to think that people that battle depression or bipolar or always thought, just, you know, lace up your boots and tough it out. That's what I used to think for people that were injured and not working and on disability at an early age. I used to think that it was all a con job, and I know better. You know, I'm in that position myself, and I see people looking at me like that, and it sucks. But you know, the best I can do is the best I can do. You know, I've got some doctors saying, you know, just do your best, and other doctors saying you should do better. I've got family members saying, you know, hey, I would have just given up and taken myself out, you know, but you're pushing through it. It's tough. Let's go ahead and see what people are saying here. All right, so what have we got going on here? Sorry, the light's really bright. Yeah, from COPD. So suffering from COPD, chronic hypoxia, probably about 30 things I'm dealing with right now. And we're just fighting through it all by trying to get healthy, eat healthy, be healthy, and do the best I can to extend life right now. And hey, I appreciate that. Proud of me. Hey, thank you. Got some friends on here. That's awesome. Right on. Hey, for the people, you know what? It says right here, helping the homeless people of Uganda. Africa, bro. That's awesome. You know, I was actually a youth leader at a church in my mid-20s, and I was supposed to go to Uganda on a mission trip. I don't have parents that are super supportive. I don't have the money to go there, and but unfortunately, I couldn't come up with money. It was just too much. So everybody else ended up going to Uganda, did the mission trip. It was great, and they came back and told me all about it. So I feel like I'm, you know, in my personal belief, am a follower and a believer. But you know, to each their own. everybody's got to walk their own path in life, whatever that may be. And I think if we all just understand that, the world would be a much better place, you know? Um, what else we got on there? Watching. Hi, all 4 people watching. We got 6 likes too, so that's freaking awesome. Let's talk about the workout regimen that we're doing here. And I'll put this back out so y'all don't have to see up my nose. Sorry about that. So, the workout regimen these days. So, each day we are walking for 15 minutes. And we've been doing really good for about the last 10 days. So, for the last 10 days, this month has just been getting back in the program. So, back in the habit of doing a little bit of working out every day, building up some endurance. I mean, I started out essentially curling like 15 pounds with each, which, given my history, that's tiny. Right now, I'm up to about 35, 40 pounds with each arm. So we're making progress quick. I have a lot of muscle memory. Each day, that 15 minutes, that gets us about a mile, typically. So we'll walk to the track or we hit the treadmill for 15 minutes. And that's about 3.5 miles an hour. So 15 minutes gets us about a mile. We're also working out on our half universal gym. I've actually got a weight system. It's got about 140 pounds of weight total. I've literally got 2 dumbbells, a barbell, a bench press, and the leg workout, if you know the type. I got it from a gentleman up the street for free last year, and finally I'm getting around to using it. So we're going to be doing that as well. And then I'm doing my 60 to 80 sit-ups a day. And that's part of the program of getting back at it. So we'll see. So for everybody watching now, hopefully if you're setting goals to get back in shape or working through fighting off some health issues, well, shoot, I'm right there with you. So don't forget to subscribe and like. Hit the like button. We like those. It's not a whole lot of effort making the live videos, but we've always got to get real like that. And honestly, the truth is, you know, I'm not able to work full time anymore, and probably not even part time. So if I can make videos of, you know, me going through the things I'm going through, and when I'm able or capable to build things, making those videos, and you guys like, follow, and if I can make some sort of a small living out of that, hey, I'm all about it. No, I am not the kind of guy that just wants to be, you know, a weight on society. Even though I probably have the right to be with all my issues, I just don't want to be that guy. So we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep working out. And we're going to keep being as healthy as we can. And we're going to keep doing that. Now, there are some, what I call it, like ice trick, which is over here at the school, that I'm going to be working out on as well. We'll go ahead and give you guys a view of that. You guys can check this out. Flip you around there. Boom. Okay, so over at the school I'm walking at right now, this is what we've got. So we can do our sit-ups here. I am nowhere near capable of doing 10 sit-ups on a flat bench right now. Doing on chair is way easier on my lower back. It's easier on my hernias, and it's like the super slow progressive way of me getting some muscle back in my core. So if you're looking for a way to get strength back in your core, well, let's find out. Should we try? Let's try it. I'm already aired out right now, so. Oh. So that's the shenanigans we're doing today. Let's get it. We are on what is this, lap? I think we're on lap 4, right? Could be on lap 4. Or are we on lap 3? You guys can't tell me. Anybody know what lap I'm on? Because hell, I don't remember. But this view makes me look all big and burly. Dude, I'm so fat. I mean, look at that. Got a big old pot belly. All 44 inches in my waist. 56 inches in my chest. 20 inches of arms. Just chubby as can be. But we're working on it. You know, my wife loves it though. She likes a big old guy. Makes her feel small. So that works out well. And my wife's been doing great too. You know, we both committed to getting in better shape, and she pounds in the last 2 months. So, which is awesome. She's looking just great. But I gotta be honest, you know, she's looking so good that, and she's a beautiful woman. But it, you know, maybe worries me a little bit. You know, she's gonna look all great and have all that most guys can at this age. Is she gonna stay or is she gonna go? Just kidding. She'll stay. She is just that super committed, wonderful person. So we're gonna call it on the walk for now, because my mouth is getting dry. I didn't bring any water, and I definitely need some. We've got about a 2-3 block walk to get home. Oh, there we go. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We'll just keep you guys around until then. So I do have a couple questions. Questions for everybody who's watching or has watched this video or will watch this video. At what point in your life was the biggest challenge you've ever overcome? Now, me, I've had a lot of challenges I've had to overcome in life, mostly because I've made a lot of stupid decisions and put myself in positions where, you know, there were repercussions I had to do. And I dealt with them. You know, I'm no saint by any means, but I'm also not a bad guy. Just stupid decisions. So tell me, if you want to, down in the comments below, what are some of the things you've ever done, had happen to you, what the repercussions were, if you're open to it, and how you. I would love to see and hear about it. You know, mostly because you're not alone, and I know for a fact there's nothing I've done that somebody else hasn't already done out there. I'm just not that original, you know. And we all live different lives, different beliefs, make different decisions, but realistic grand list of things that can happen, it's all been done before. I just don't think, short of somebody nuking the entire world, just kidding, don't X me out for saying the N-U-C-K word. For that, whew, I think we need to check the oxygen. We're feeling way short. Shoot. I'll let the alternator on. That's what we're going to be doing. I did not come prepared to this one. Actually, just before this video, I had to make a video just to make sure that the horizontal of the camera was right. You know? Sometimes the videoing, editing, my hands get shaky from holding this thing. There we go. Go ahead and hold it with that hand for a little bit. You know, COPD is a son of a donkey. Oh, yeah, my wife was recently diagnosed with whatever that is when you're sleeping and you stop breathing. Not like me, not nocturnal hypoxemia, which is, I have that as well. But the other one, where your throat closes up and your oxygen tanks, and she's got it mildly, but so my wife is also on oxygen at night. So it sounds like Darth Vader, going off in the bathroom, in her bedroom at night. It's like all night long. Luckily, she doesn't have to wear that mask yet. The one that literally makes you look like Darth Vader. I do like grab my wife, giving her a kiss on the cheek, and I just think that if she put that on, it would be like trying to find a small spot to give her a kiss. Whole thing. So great with her health walk lately. So we can watch this wifey get to us. We are passing the church here. Whew. And I am sweating like a pig. Seriously. Whew. We're doing it though. Day one walk. Actually the second walk, but day one live. It's pretty awesome. Alright, looks like have 5 people watching. Oh, 5 people. That's super freaking awesome. Let's check out the comments here where we've got the ability to look at it. It says, you just keep going, brother. You're doing good. More exercise and the more thing you do, the better it will be. Keep your health, probably. Thank you much, Josh. I appreciate that. Me too, brother, with Ida Mosley. This is what makes me do this stuff. Seriously. It's like going live just to feel alone in the process. You know, and I know by spreading my net wide like this in front of a larger audience, more people relate, right? I mean, does that make sense? If I'm putting myself out there, then maybe somebody will see this and find some sort of inspiration from it. And maybe they'll try harder and then they'll do better. And by them seeing it and saying something on here, keeps me accountable, makes me want to do it more. And by doing it more, you know, supposedly I'm going to get as good as I can be. And I might not ever be perfect, you know, or I may never get back to where I was. I mean, I just honestly don't see how that right? And I think, like, at least get better. I mean, I've got a decent doctor now, able to, you know, prescribe the things I need, give me the tests I need so that we can figure out what's actually going on. Gives me advice that's not just to treat the symptom, but to treat the actual underlying problem. That's what's really on. How many of you out there have had a doctor that you just didn't feel like was being up and up with you? You know what I mean? Like, you go see the doctor and they start telling you stuff and you're just sitting there looking at it going like, this is total BS. And, you know, not because it's not total BS, but because, you know, it's pretty obvious what's going on. Like, they're telling you got a broken wrist, but you sprained your ankle or something. I don't know if anybody else has been in a position like that, but I know that for me, dealing with labor and industry, it's been hell. It's a really broken, corrupt system, unfortunately. You know, and I would more than anything in the world to expose that. You know what I mean? I would. You know, and I do. I guess, you know, realistically, one of the things when I was going through L&I and I was seeing my occupational therapist because I was suffering from just disassociation, like severe disassociation, like out-of-body disassociation, shaking, losing hours of my life. Just told me, I mean, it got so bad I could barely remember my birthday for about 2 years. I even forgot I had kids for like 6 months, which is freaking nuts. That's how crazy I was. Anyways, dealing with these doctors, I mean, this is the corrupt bunch of girls, doctors, in a sense. system itself. It's unfortunate. If you've had any dealings with these guys, definitely put some comments down below. Tell me what it was like dealing with them. If it was easy for you, or if it was something that was just ridiculously hard to fight through, because I'm going through that. Whew. So we're almost back to the house, man. That's freaking awesome. You can see over here, we got the redneck yacht. Somebody actually robbed me, so that sucks. This happened. I was getting ready to take this thing out, so getting ready to take the boat out. Where's it at? Right there. Getting ready to take the boat out, and somebody decided they were going to steal downriggers and my front lights. So that just totally sucks. So in the middle of the night, they came in and they jacked a bunch of stuff off my boat. That's right, brand new stuff I hadn't even had a chance to use yet. And I am not a happy camper about it. So did end up getting some new stuff, but not putting it on there unless I'm going fishing. Lesson learned. Took everything off. Back at the house, and the video has been. We were talking to people. Just driftwood, great horn builds, and we will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. We're going to be doing a workout talk. We'll be on the treadmill. So if you're looking to work out, go ahead and chime in. We'll get this thing all situated so that I can chat with you guys while I'm doing it. And driftwood out.